Happy Friday and welcome to the recap. And oh my goodness, I forgot the episode number again. I'm going to think it's 125, and I am right. How
You
are you
are.
doing? I had to look real quick. How are you doing today, Maddie?
Hey, Rick. Hey, everyone. I'm doing well. We have to mention that we are actually recording on a Wednesday, as most of the times, right? So
And,
I'm
and we'll
getting
publish on
ready.
a Thursday. So when I
Yes,
say
we
happy
do that.
Friday,
It
okay.
is a bit confusing, like people ask me, it's like, so are you recording on a Friday? I'm like, no, actually on a Wednesday. But yeah, that's not the point. What I wanted to say is like I'm getting ready for the Veeam tour in Bucharest that takes place tomorrow, Thursday. I'm really looking forward to see the teams in here. It looks like it's going to be a big event after all. I was talking to some people that organized it, and they were expecting 250, and now it's about 500 registered. So that's pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna have a community corner. So next week we're going to share some nice pictures about it. So yeah, other than that, very busy with the community as always. And how are you doing? I can see you are not in your office.
And that's right. I'm not in the office today. Last 2 weeks, I have been on the go. This week, I've got a big triangle. I'm in Canada, and then I'm heading over to the U.S. state of Michigan later today. Some customer and partner meetings lined up. Busy, busy week for sure. But actually, now that I think about it, yeah, it's really crazy. We record on Wednesday. I sneak it out late Thursday. I say Happy Friday. I also last week we recorded on a Thursday, if I remember right. I kind of broke that
Indeed.
rule. And then sometimes we'll even record on a Tuesday if it's a holiday or it's a busy stretch, friends. Just keeping up. There's that phrase, keeping up with the Kardashians. Let's just say keeping up with the community. Keeping up with the community is impossible.
Exactly.
Oh
Yes,
my
that's a good
gosh.
one.
I love it, but oh my gosh, it's so busy. But full disclosure, we're keeping it nice and tight here today. Not breaking the rule, not going crazy on special department news. And let's start with Timo, need a profile pick, D-Win. Timothy, you found one of my favorite things here on Fast Cloning. This is an awesome post here from Timo.
Yes, that's what I thought as well. And I think this is actually the first time we are mentioning Timo in the recap. He's one of the solutions architects, if I'm not mistaken, in Belgium. And yeah, he even has one of the first. So he has been for a long time with the community, only that he probably started posting recently. And this is actually a really great post in the script library category. Really enjoyed it. What is he doing in here? He's creating some scripts. I think he's using Bash and Python in here. Please see the GitHub. He has a link in there, so we might just be able to open it and see all the scripts that he's trying to share with the community. And he's trying to experiment XFS savings calculations. Note that you can use the scripts as per the comments, even if you use refs versus XFS. So that's an important point because I think Jeff was trying to use it with his environment and he was a bit confused, but yeah, he can use it with refs as well. Now, what he's doing, he's creating some frag files and then he's analyzing the frag files. He says that he's using the frag files because of the inconsistent results he gets with the XFS BMAP. And apparently he gets like under reports. And yeah, if you use it, let us know if you have the same situation as Timothy. And then he's also explaining uh, why he took some of the decisions. And I really like that. I'm not going to go over all that, but I think this is important to notice. I think that's a bit upper, the decisions he's talking about. And yeah, you also have that demo in there. that makes it very easy to actually try it. As he says, make sure you are not using this in production. It is still testing phase, but if you try and use it, test these scripts and this method that he's putting up together, just give him some feedback. He might just want to make it official, I'm not sure. But what do you think about this, Rick?
Oh, this is a truly outstanding post, Timo. Timo, need a profile pic, do you win? Sorry, not going to let you live that down there, Timothy. But I think this is truly outstanding because I talk to a lot of people, Maddie, about the XFS and ReFS technology that Veeam has. Dave Russell and I like to call it no dupe. Now, what it is, for those who don't know, this fast cloning, this is a technique on, let's just call it smart file systems like ReFS and XFS, where Veeam manipulations like a synthetic full backup are basically instant, because if something has to be read and then written again, it'll just be linked. It won't be read and written again. And that'll save read IO, save write IO, save capacity, and it'll save time. And it'll say, yeah, it's just great. And it really prevents duplication. It's not deduplication, but it prevents duplications. Think about that. And that's why Dave Russell and I call it no dupe. It is a no additional Veeam cost storage efficiency. Super, super awesome, especially with XFS and the Veeam hardened repository, which we talked about last week with that technique. So this is really, really good stuff. And Timo is like super, super sharp on this stuff. So, hey, thank you so much, Timo. I do think this is the first time we've called your name here on the community. So hope to see you back. And then for others, definitely check this out. Give it a run with, give this script a run in your environment, because I think this is good stuff. Outstanding. Is this a new name too? Luis Eduardo Serrano. I don't know if we've called him yet before.
I don't think we called him before, but it's not the first time he's actually posting in the community, because I've seen him around. I think he's working like Veeam most probably. I'm not sure exactly what is his position, but I've seen him in the community posting. So
yeah, he came with the early badge, one of the first badge. So that's always good. Yeah. So no, he's wanting to highlight the latest on Kasten V6, fully available. I think this is a good post.
Yes, totally. So basically, this release was happening this month. And in his article, he's talking about the new features and the main capabilities that comes with this release. And of course, one of the most important one is the Veeam Data Platform integration. So basically, Kasten K10 now provides additional data management path integrations with the new Veeam Backup and Replication V12. And some of the things that this integration includes is a new Kasten K10 plugin for VBR console that gives centralized visibility and management of Kubernetes backups, and then instant recovery capabilities that leverage Veeam's technology. And then it lowers the recovery time objectives, that RTO, which is really great. And then, of course, there are a few other important features, capabilities, more integrations with the cloud natives. There is a list that he's providing in there. I'm not going to go over all, but it's Red Hat, OpenShift Container Platform, Google Anthos, VMware Tanzu, and so many others. And then he goes over some of the features in more detail in there. But also he shares a link to Gaurav's blog post that is particularly good and very comprehensive. So he talks in detail about all features. There are some videos as well, and I definitely recommend this one to read it and watch it as well, like all those videos. It's very in details. It's really good. But what is your favorite feature on this release?
It's probably the instant restore for the first class disks. That's just such a such a Veeam namesake, these high-speed recovery techniques. But the other thing is, my eyes just can't stop looking here. This is awesome. It's a rock and roll and music section on the blog. I'm gonna have to check that out too. But no, it looks like we'd like to jam as well, which that's pretty cool. That'll get you some looks here from Dave Russell and myself for cloud and roll, rock and roll. That's pretty cool. I like this. I like this shout.
I feel like this requires an invitation to the recap.
Yeah, maybe.
So we find out more about it. What do you think?
I think so. I think it's a great bit, and looks like Luis Eduardo is also a Tanzu Vanguard, not a Veeam Vanguard, but a Tanzu Vanguard. So looks like he knows what he's talking about. So thank you so much, and hopefully we're glad you found Kubernetes Corner, Luis Eduardo. This is good stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
And the last one, sticking to the rule of threes, is a question by Derek of Veeam Agent for Windows or Veeam Backup for Azure with one VM in Azure to blob storage. This is a very deep question. Whoa, he's got 14 perspectives on it with answers.
Yeah, totally. I know that Derek is mostly working on-prem, so this is kind of new for him. So he has a customer where he wants to put their Sage 100 RDS server in Azure and get rid of all on-premise compute. I think he mentions that he also migrating their Exchange server to M365. And you already mentioned the question that he's asking in there. And I think Chris says like just go directly to object from the Veeam agent for Windows. He says like this is less complicated to set up and manage, and direct to object with Veeam agent for Windows works great. It seems like Chris is using it with Wasabi, and now he's also trying it with AWS. But then if you go further in the comments, we have Michael Paul, and obviously he loves being very detailed about it. So he's coming up with a bunch of pros and cons for each of the options. And I don't know what Derek's decision is going to be, because, you know, like after read all that, it's just so difficult to make a decision, even more difficult than he started with. So what do you think about that? What would be your decision, Rick?
Well, I really like Michael's pros and cons here, as I'm able to read it when I scroll this fast here. And I am tempted to do this right now on the show. Oh, the discussion keeps going. Oh, but anyways, I really like, as I skim through here, this one right here, when Sir Michael Paul goes into the pros and cons. I am tempted here to just give Michael the best answer right now, but I don't know if that's my place in life, Maddie. I just don't know. But
sometimes you have to do it.
I do like his pros and cons, because those are rather spot on. So, if I think I would go with Veeam Backup for Microsoft Azure.
Okay.
I think so. But he puts out this service bus, because that is one thing that if you don't have that set up, a service bus namespace, then you have to do that. It doesn't take much work to do that. In fact, you could do it and then you can remove the namespace if you wanted to later. But I would do that.
Okay.
In most situations.
Derek should let us know what is his choice in the end.
Yeah, let us know the final result. I like this, and so I took a liberty there with the best answer, but we'll see. I think that's awesome of you, Michael, for sharing. All right, so that's 3, but we got one more thing. We've still got our Who's New, and a big thank you to Sophia for preparing this today for us.
As always.
Yes, plus 67, and there's some good ones in here. I like. Let's see. I like PHX Tech, Nikki. I like Nikki. RZIP, that is actually RZP. That's pretty cool. LSL, HPS, those are cute ones. Do you like any on this list?
I don't know. It's just like good names, but this time I feel like there are very simple as well, like Daniela
Yeah.
or Dwens. That
Yeah.
sounds cool. Dwens.
TAM IT. I mean, there's a great ones. And it looks like a lot of people are using initials like CFR, HPS, LSL. Maybe this
Yeah.
one, that's cool. But we got 6. Now, Sophia gave me
Let's
4 for
see.
coolest names. I added 2. So we got EBS Chip, Sneed, Net.Runner, which is hilarious. I love that. Stinger Alex, I added, and
That's a
Detroit
cool one.
Daddy, J Leper. These are cool names. So you 6 are coolest usernames of the week. And
Let's
Alfred.
see. Alfred's pick.
And Alfred has picked, wow, BT Dubs. By the way, BTW is Alfred's pick. So you get a badge.
Maybe it's just the initials for his name or her name.
Maybe.
BTW. Let us know, BTW.
Yeah,
What's
let us
that?
know about you, BTW. Yes.
By the way.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I don't want to blow my secrets, but yeah, I started when we see some of them, I start looking up, oh, who is this person? So it's actually really interesting to see who comes in and joins us here in the community.
Yeah,
But,
totally. And
love
before
it.
we go, actually, I just wanted to mention
Oh,
last month we didn't have the blog of the month initiative going on at the community because we were all at Veeam in Miami. So the time was really tight, but we are getting back with that this month. And we are also going to select some great content that was shared in May. We're going to have probably a poll with more than 6 articles. So it's going to be just like a sort of special edition, same as we do with the recap. This is going to be a special edition for the blog of the month. So if you didn't have the time to put in some great content in there, you still have until Monday. So go for it. You have the whole weekend.
And if you need an idea for a blog, everyone, I was talking to someone at this customer event that I was at yesterday. And shout out Luis. He gave me a great idea. I was talking with Luis and he's like, I wish I had blah, 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 blah. And friends, the community hub is the perfect place for this. So if you need an idea for a blog, let's just call it rate my design. Share your Veeam infrastructure. Maybe take out the names, maybe don't share IPs, but like a diagram of what you got and what you have, and maybe some details of how it's working, like rate my setup. We've seen those types of things on Twitter and social media. I think you could write some really interesting blog posts, people, about that. And when I get a moment, I'm going to do the same for the Veeam Product Strategy Lab. So I'm going to like, hey,
that's awesome.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure everyone is going to be interested in that. So yeah, you should do that, Rick.
Yeah, and I'll write it up, and I'm going to do a Veeam report that exports what it is. So we have there's like the story, but then there's like a standardized view with Veeam. Rate my setup. So how about that? There's an idea for everybody.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure you can find ideas if you go anywhere, like on the on the Veeam blog official. If you go to the community R&D forums, you're gonna always find inspiration. You just have to look a bit and just be creative with it, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, there's so much to write about.
Awesome. Well, hey, Maddie, thank you so much for preparing the content here this week, as always.
Thank you, Rick.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.